Hey, Josh Tigg, Running T Farms. Just moved the finishers and our yearlings out of this paddock into the next paddock there, and I had come down here and got their mineral feeder. Well, we just feed C90 sea salt free choice in there. So, but anyway, I was just driving up through here and I was having a look at the forage. And I just thought this would be a very good time because it's not so often that we're grazing selectively as we are here. So we always graze our finishers and our yearlings and wean calves on a more selective graze, a modified leader follower system, which is what will happen right here. So we moved those guys into this paddock here about 3 days ago, allowing a very selective graze. And I thought I would point out the trouble as I see it with selective grazing and what we seen when we were doing like a take half, leave half, or take a third, leave a third, trample a third, Greg Judy style, whatever you want to call it, selective rotational grazing. You can call it whatever you want to, versus a non-selective grazing. So this is a very stark example here of what I see as the problem. So if you'll notice here, there's an area, looks like it had some bluegrass in it that the cattle like well. And you can see there's some orchard grass that they also like. There was some clover, looked like maybe some young crabgrass starting to germinate. But my point is, the cattle have grazed this down right to the ground. Why is that? Well, it's because they were grazing selectively, and these were the plants with either the highest energy, the best palatability. Everybody knows orchard grass is very palatable to cattle, very good with energy. Clover as well. You can see there was a good bit of clover here that they've grazed all that clover off, which is fine. That's what we want to do, is utilize our forage. But then I will take you right here, literally within 18 inches of that, and we've got mature fescue here, we've got horse nettle here, that they haven't touched hardly at all. There's some more mature, even orchard grass there. But I walk on over here and you just see all this mature fescue. This is Kentucky 31 fescue, and some horse nettle and some forbs. Some of these forbs they've bit the tops out of. But the problem here is, what's going to happen in the subsequent rotation if we're doing selective rotational grazing? So still a lot of forage here, obviously. But if we let these cattle come back on a selective grazing next time, what do you think they're going to go after? So all this this forage here that they've grazed selectively, it's going to regrow, and it's going to be very tender, very palatable, higher in energy, and they're going to come back and they're going to graze all this that they grazed previously again. And all of that really mature forage over there that they rejected the first time is going to be even more mature and less quality, and they're going to reject it again. Now, depending on your growing conditions and how quickly you get back, these areas that they grazed the first time will have surely made some regrowth, but if you get into a dry situation or less than ideal growing conditions, these areas will not be fully recovered. They will, however, be the most palatable, highest energy, highest protein plants in the sward, and they're going to come and they're going to graze them right back down to the ground like this. I mean, this forage was 30 inches tall, and there's still good bits of it around here that's that tall. But then you find areas like this, and this is not the only one, there's lots of them. I walked around right here. This was just a really good example here, that for whatever reason, higher energy content, more palatability, Soil's a little bit healthier here, so the plants were a little more nutrient dense. Many different scenarios could factor into why they grazed this area hard. And we all know with Kentucky 31 fescue, it has endophyte problems, toxicity problems, all that, why they didn't graze that. But like I said, the problem arises when we come back for the next turn and we end up overgrazing our best, most palatable, highest energy species, and we leave our least palatable, undesirable species such as horse nettle, and I see some aster that they did eat the tops out of, some of that stuff. But when we bring the cow herd in here in a few weeks, when we've allowed this to recover, so we will graze this non-selectively with our cow herd in what Jim Elizondo calls a modified leader follower system. So what we're going to do is we've came in here and we've taken a grazing off of this with focus on very good animal performance. You can see by that manure pat there, looks very good. Cow's drug its foot through it. You can actually see where a dung beetle is burying manure there. You can see dirt around that. So we've had to focus on animal improvement here. We will allow this to recover. These areas like right here that were grazed severely, we will allow them to make sure that they are recovered. We will focus on the areas that was severely grazed, and when they are recovered well, we will bring the cow herd in here and we will graze this non-selectively, meaning we will graze probably 80-85% of this forage off. Should we not be able to get that accomplished, I will come behind with the mower and mow everything down just as low as I can mow it with the mower to level that playing field. We would likely get another grazing off of this, probably if we have any kind of decent rainfall. I expect we'll have the cow herd over here, you know, probably in 45 to 60 days. We'll get good recovery if we keep getting pretty decent rainfall. And we'll graze this non-selectively, and we should have a very extremely high quality regrowth after that going into fall that we will get another grazing off of. So I just wanted to point out there the difference, and also to say that even though this grass right here is grazed down within an inch of the ground, it was not overgrazed. That's not overgrazing, that's severe grazing, a high harvest efficiency grazing, because these plants were fully recovered before these cattle came in here. So the only time that we could possibly be overgrazing is if we would come back and graze this severely grazed grass before it had a chance to regrow and restock its root reserves. So I'd like for everyone always to keep that in mind. Overgrazing is a function of time, not severity of graze. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick video here. Our finishers and yearlings are looking great. Can just barely see the tops of their backs up there. Some of them in that grass, I'm not sure if they'll show up on the camera. A lot of forage up there. We will be doing it the same way. We'll take sort of the cream of the crop off of it. We will give it a full recovery here on the most severely grazed plants in the sward, and then we'll clean this up with the cow herd with a ultra high stock density non-selective grazing to set us up for some real high quality forage going into the fall. So hope everybody has a fantastic day. As always, you can check us out online at runningtbeef.com. You can like us on Facebook at runningtbeef. If you're watching on YouTube, click that like and subscribe button on your way out, and everyone have a fantastic day.